first thing I want to talk about, whether you already have a game idea, whether you already have a playable prototype, or you're just planning out what you want, one thing that's really important for you to know about your game is who it's for, right? Who is on the other side, who's the player, who's buying this game, and that can help you in so many ways because knowing who it's for, you're going to know what else is out there. You can do a little bit of market research. You know what the expectation of players is, and if you know what they're expecting, you can subvert the expectation and do something different, or you can play towards that player fantasy and get your game to be something that they really like. So where we're going to start is something called the player persona. A really good book on game design called The Art of Game Design, a Book of Lenses by Jesse Schell. He calls it the lens of the player. So what is the lens of the player? That's looking at your game through the eyes of a player. So you're going to be asking yourself, if I was a player in this game, what would I do? So what would my ideal player like? What don't they like? What do they expect? What are their expectations? So if you've got kind of this epic art and a giant world and world building, are they gonna expect a small 15-minute game? Probably not, right? So what is the player's expectations when they see your game? All of these questions, looking at it through your player's eyes, you want to be able to answer. The best way to do that is to look at players playing. But another thing you can do before you even set out to playtest your game is build kind of your ideal player persona. Who is playing your game? So let's do that. So we've got Gamer 1. Your ideal gamer, his favorite games are, let's say, Wingspan, Dune Imperium, and Gloomhaven. Okay, so we know their favorite games, or the other games out there. We've played those games. It's kind of like a little bit of market research that we've done. So what can this tell us about this player? Well, for one thing, it can inform your playtime. So these players, they're fine with a 1 to 2 to maybe even 3 hour experience. What else can that tell us? Well, by the looks of it, your art should kind of match, have a more serious tone. All right, what else can that tell us? Well, it can tell us about the price of our game. So like what components we can use. All of these games are somewhere in the like $50 to $100 range. And this ideal player is willing to spend that, right? And finally, it can tell us about mechanics. So this player likes a mix of mechanics, and you can have quite a bit of depth in that 1 to 2 hour experience. You can use all sorts of different, deck building, worker placement. They're probably familiar. They probably play a lot of games. It looks like they're kind of a hobby gamer, like the top games on BGG. And this can inform your game design. All right, so if your ideal player, they're a social gamer, right? They like to get together with friends and play 15 to 30 minute game. They like the social aspect. Maybe they like the resistance. Maybe they like exploding kittens. Maybe they like, what's a kind of short party game? Maybe they like The Crew. That's a great one. What can we tell from a player like this? Well, again, it can inform our playtime. So we probably want 15 to 30 minutes. It can inform the art. So in a shorter kind of experience, you can go a little bit sillier with it, and that's absolutely fine. Kind of silly, funny, not necessarily, but the expectation can set you up for good, silly, funny art. Price. So here, you're going to be more limited on your components, probably 20 to 50 in the higher range. So you wouldn't want a lot of custom components. You wouldn't want a giant box, right? And finally, our mechanics. We want not to have too many, or not. We want a quick teach, basically. It's a 15 to 30 minute game. You don't want to be spending 15 to 30 minutes explaining rules. So I would say clean and easy teach. All right, so how does this help us? Well, if you have a player in mind, one, it can help you if you decide to go with another publisher, it can help you pitch your game. It can help you find your target audience, so when you get to selling your game, you can target those people. You can show it to the right people who are willing to buy it. It can tell you about the decisions you make as a game designer. So if you're going for which mechanics to do, how do I clean up my game? Is it okay for me to have this extra mechanic that adds an hour of gameplay? Should I cut that? All of those questions, you can look through this lens of what is the ideal player of my game going to think about it. And later you can watch those players play and take their feedback. But having something like this can just be like a North Star for you. If you don't know who your game is for, it's going to be a lot harder for you to make good decisions because there's so many different people out there, right? There's people who want to go in and their reason for playing is to feel clever and to spend a long time interacting with the game. There's people out there who want more of a social aspect and they just want to spend time with their friends and have the game as a medium there. So answering this question first and knowing who your game is for is going to make it a lot easier for you to develop your game into something really good. So we're going to come back to this a lot